Hey there. Have you ever dealt with clients that maybe weren't your favorite? Have you ever hung on to a deal longer than you should have? And have you ever kind of tried to fit a square peg into a round hole? I'm sure we all have at some point in the real estate game. But have you ever asked yourself why? The reason why I've found that people will hang on to deals longer or deal with difficult clients or try to force a situation where the person really isn't the right fit for, let's say, a piece of property or a house or whatever it might be. What I have found is the reason why those things occur is because of lack of prospects. What do I mean by that? So think about it. If you had one person that you're working with and they were the only piece of business that you were working with at that point, you would be hanging on to them like a life raft for dear life in the middle of the ocean, right? However, if you had 100 opportunities sitting on your desk and your phone was ringing off the hook, would you treat that one difficult person who wasn't a good fit, who wasn't motivated, who didn't have money for their next purchase, would you treat them the same way? Obviously, the answer is no. Now, why is that? Think about it. Sales is like a funnel, right? You put X in the top and Y comes out the bottom. The more you put in the top, the more opportunities you have. So your lead generation is you putting opportunities in the top of your funnel. The more that goes in the top, obviously, the more that comes out the bottom. But there's one thing that's sometimes overlooked, and that is qualification. There's an old saying that, so qualification is part of your lead generation process. What you need to do, you don't just take anyone that raises their hand and says, sure, I want to do business with you, I want to work with you. What you have to ask is, well, do they have the money? Do they have the motivation? Do they have the desire to actually act today or in some short period of time? So there's an old saying, as I started to mention, was if you qualify hard, your close will be easy. If you qualify easy, your close will be hard. So what does that mean? If you think about the person, if you think about a client and your only prerequisite for them to work with you or for you to spend time working on them is that they have a pulse, well, guess what? It's going to be really hard if that's your only prerequisite for them to be your client. Whereas if you sat down with them and said, okay, Mr. Buyer, tell me about your money situation. Tell me about how soon you want to take on a new piece of property, a new investment, or a new home. Tell me about why you want to do this. You almost have to look at it from the lens of why should I take my time, my resources, and my knowledge and spend them on you? If you look at it from that perspective and you qualify hard, I have news for you. It's going to be so much easier in the long run. So the way I look at it is, we're not necessarily in the game of just putting people in our car, running them around and showing them houses or properties. We are in the game of sorting through the leads that come our way, sorting through the opportunities, because the only thing we have to sell as real estate brokers and agents is our time and our knowledge. We all get the same 24 hours a day. The question is, how do you spend it? How do some brokers and agents far outperform others? Some of it's luck, some of it's connections, but I tell you what, the really high producing brokers are the ones that are able to sort the best. They're able to qualify and know who the appropriate people are to spend their resources. And our main resource, it's our time, So if you want to learn more, I have a free sheet that you can download. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below so that you can download the sheet that I use for qualifying potential opportunities. Also, if you want to learn more about commercial real estate training, go ahead and click the link below, and we can set up a time for a strategy session and see how we might be able to help your business. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Bye-bye now. If you like the content you saw today, be sure to subscribe down below to my YouTube channel. I post videos like this weekly. I'll see you soon.